silver flash, no living time. The dawn was cold, my hands were torn. I feared my hope would not be born. Yahoo, you are my provider. Yahushua, you are my king. Shamayim lifts up your glory, and I will sing, and I will sing. Then Ruach stirred the silent foam and whispered peace into my home. A sparkle rose beneath the wave, like hidden gifts you came to save. Yahoo, you are my provider. Yahushua, you are my king. Shamayim lifts up your glory, and I will sing, and I will sing. And it grew heavy, pulled so deep. My knees fell down, I could not speak. And in that weight I saw your name. Kadash, fire, holy flame. Yahoo, you are my provider. Yahushua, you are my king. Shamayim lifts up your glory, and I will sing, and I will sing. Now when I cast into the night, I trust your hand, I trust your light. For every sea, for every breath, you feed my soul, you conquer death. Yahoo, you are my provider. Yahushua, you are my king. Shamayim lifts up your glory, and I will sing, and I will sing.
Shabbat Shalom, beautiful family out there. My name is Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah channel. And we can't thank you guys enough for being a part of this little itty bitty tiny family that we have out here. We are coming to you live from the middle of a tropical rainforest between two oceans down here in Yahuwah's magnificent created lands. And so greetings wherever you guys are from. And for those who have never ever sat around, never ever hung out with this family, number one, welcome. Number two, we are the family that believes that Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy are the rule book for life. That when we take these rules and these regulations and these beautiful statutes and these beautiful commands and we write them on our heart, mind, and soul, that we are indeed taking from what the scripture says. And scriptures very clearly says there's a remnant, a set apart group of people, a people who don't look like the rest of the world, a people who aren't out there voting for a satanic system, a people that are not celebrating Easter and Christmas and Thanksgiving and all these pagan holidays, these things that our Creator has said never, ever, ever to participate in. So we are these kids in a cool kids club, and this cool kids club is it's an open club. There's no fees, there's no membership dues, but you absolutely must hang on to the government rules and regulations of this kingdom. And so we are going to go over these beautiful laws, statutes, and regulations here in just a few, right after we get some praise and worship done. But before that, I'm going to show you guys something that we've never, ever seen before out there. We're going to go over some, we're going to go over what the world says is how you are saved. So we're going to go over how the world says we are saved according to the religious doctrine that is out there. And then we're going to humbly go into the laws, the statutes, and commandments of our Creator. And so with that, I ask you guys to hang around and welcome, and we will get rolling right here. And this is out of the book of 𝐤𝐄𝐅𝐿. For those who do not know what the book of 𝐤𝐿 is, it's the last book in Yah's scriptures, and it's called the book of the Nazarene. And it is probably the biggest book that we have with the most quotes of Messiah Yahushua. And when we are looking at the quotes of Messiah Yahushua, these are these incredible things that all of us can align our lives as well. And for those who don't know who I'm talking about when I say Messiah Yahushua, I'm talking about those who call him Jesus, those who call him Jesus Christ. There were no J's in Hebrew, just like our Creator's name is not God. It is Yahuwah and Yahushua. And there's a lot of different ways that people say the names on this. And you call it Yahweh, call it Yahuwah, call it anything because it's closer than God. And when we are walking this narrow road, guys, it is not the pronunciation of our Creator's name or the pronunciation of his Son's name that is going to get us in the kingdom. None of this. There's nowhere, anywhere in scriptures that even says, okay, I want you to pronunciate my name like this. There's no such thing. It says Yahuwah, Yahweh, anything like that, right? It doesn't matter to our Creator what we are calling him as long as we are obeying his laws, his statutes, and commandments. And I say this because a lot of the world will never ever know him by his name. But the same statutes and the same regulations, the same Torah is for every language everywhere. So the road to obedience is simply that. We are called to obey these beautiful laws, statutes, and commandments. Or if not, we are called to perish. Depart from me, you who work lawlessness. So here we are. Let's get into our next part of our praise and worship.
Sea goes out, hearts decide where it lands and where it hides. We choose the soil every day, so let Torah grow our way. Be good ground, let Torah roots grow deep, not down. No birds, no stones, no thorns inside. We will let the word abide. Here, keep it growing strong, and bring the harvest all life long. Yahushua spoke again, a story for the crowd of men. A sower walked with seed in hand. He scattered it across the land. Oh, be good ground, let Torah roots grow deep, not down. No birds, no stones, no thorns inside. We will let the word abide. Here, keep it growing strong, and bring the harvest all life long. dried away. Shallow faith can't stay. Be good ground, let your roots grow deep, not down. No birds, no stones, no thorns inside. We will let the word abide. Here, keep it growing strong, and bring the harvest all life long. Some seed fell in thorny care, worldly worries choked it bare, but good ground heard and held it tight and grew a harvest full of life. Be good ground, let your roots go deep, not down. No birds, no stones, no thorns inside. We will let the word abide. Here, keep it growing strong, and bring the harvest all life long.
All right, so that is heading into the next song, which is our third one here, Truth in the Light, also out of Kalidi.
Yahuwah, keep our hearts awake. We won't be fooled by mass they make. We follow Yahushua through the test. With Ruach strong, we won't rest. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way, the narrow way. Yahushua came to kin to stay, but crowds grew loud and stole the shalom away. They whispered he is out of his mind. Fearful hearts were weak and blind, but truth will draw the hungry near, and light will shine when men fear. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk away, the narrow way. Men from Jerusalem came with lies, calling light evil in disguise. They said he cast out evil by evil, but Yahushua spoke what's real. Can evil fight itself and stand? A divided ray will break no plan. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way, the narrow way. He entered the Chikot travel worn, not dressed in pride, not wrapped in scorn. He said, workmen, come as they are, not polished clothes, but truth's own mark. Then he warned the people, watch their ways. Many look clean, but rot inside remains. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way, the narrow way. Beware the ones who praise with lips, but hearts are cold and filled with tricks. They say they see, but they are blind. They lead the weak and twist the mind. They hide in darkness, smile for gold, but inside them poison grows. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way, the narrow way. He said, take up my stake of Kai. The easy road has no bright sky. The trials come like gifts sometimes, but truth reveals their hidden signs. He winnows grain from empty talk and calls the faithful ones to walk. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way, the narrow way. Give us eyes that really see, not fake religion, not Let our roots go deep in light, so weeds the world don't choke what's right. We seek your wisdom like pure gold. We walk the truth, we won't grow cold. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way, the narrow way.
All right, the last song that we're going to be doing is out of the book of Hosea. And for those who have never read that book, that is an incredible read. Like, our history would not be our history of what it was. We wouldn't know exactly what's going on if it wasn't for prophets and folks like Hosea that actually put it down and gave us an understanding of what we should be doing. And, you know, a lot of times when you look at these prophets and you look at their lives, they're not comfortable, right? They're, you know, Hosea had to go marry a harlot. He had to, there was all sorts of things, right? According to some text, Isaiah was actually chopped with a wood saw to his death. Right, and so these guys did a lot for us, and it's incredible that, you know, our Creator has preserved the words like He has preserved.
What's that last song called?
Return to Yahuwah, don't delay. Love and obedience lead the way. Not empty words, not a ritual alone. Torah live proves hearts are known. Hosea cry, come back again. Not burn words, but lives that mend. Yah desires mercy and truth, faithful hearts that walk His proof. Oh, return to Yahuwah, don't delay. Love and obedience lead the way. Not empty words, not ritual alone. Torah live proves hearts are known. Morning mist faith fades too fast. Yah calls hearts that truly last. Know Him deep, walk His ways. Torah love through all your days. Return to Yahuwah, don't delay. Love and obedience lead the way. Not empty words, not ritual alone. Torah live proves hearts unknown. Words without deeds fade to dust. Covenant faith is built on trust. Yahuwah heals when we return. Broken hearts that choose to learn. Return to Yahuwah, don't delay. Don't delay. Love and obedience lead the way. Lead the way. Not empty words, not ritual alone. Not ritual alone. Torah live proves hearts are known. Children rise with faithful feet. Torah paths are good and sweet. Love Yahuwah, walk His truth. That's real faith from age to youth. Return to Yahuwah, don't delay. Don't delay. Love and obedience lead the way. Lead the way. Not empty words, not ritual alone. Not a ritual alone. Torah live proves hearts are known.
All right, beautiful family. That is the praise and worship. Let us get into some prayer. Kate, can you please open us up in prayer?
Precious Father, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for this Shabbat. We thank you for this family that is gathered around us today. That you have sent from all around the world to be part of our family, to be part of this Kodesh union, to be part of this people of you that you have said to follow your commands, and you will be our people. And we are all around the world today obeying your commands, looking for your signs and wonders, looking for your name. We thank you for blessing us with the ability, with the way you've opened our eyes to your Torah, the way you have shown us amongst all the people in the world. We thank you for this day, and we thank you for your Son, we thank you for your Torah, we thank you for your prophets. We ask that everyone today has a ruach upon them, upon their eyes, hearts, minds, and souls to understand the words you have put out before us today. We thank you for all in Jesus' name. Amen.
What an incredible time to be alive, right, everybody? I mean, I guess every generation isn't an incredible time to be alive, but, where we're sitting at, a 6,000 year timeline of when we possibly know of when things are going to be exiting the understanding of what we have and things are going to be going. And it is really, really an incredible time to be alive. And so, we can always thank our Creator for this, for being us, letting us hang out with this, the end time crowds that we are. It's going to be some good times for us in the future. So everybody hang on, put on your seatbelts, and let's keep on rolling through this apocalypse. Jade, will you please give us the Shema? And for those who do not know what the Shema is, that simply means how to, it means hear and obey. So go ahead, Jade.
Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah is one. And you shall love Yahuwah, your Elohim, with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your might. And these words I am commanding you today shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children, and shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frozen between your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates.
Now, for those who've never ever heard this before, it is a declaration of our independence. This is basically a declaration of independence. If you will keep the laws, the statutes, the commandments, that you will write them on the doors of your house, on the frontlets of your eyes, and those are all things about obedience, right? If we will do this, then our Creator has promised that He will walk with us, that He will guide us, that we will be considered part of His people. Guys, what greater honor is there out there that we can be considered a friend of the Most High? And so today, Miss Nicole, do you want to say hi to our brothers and sisters real quick before we get into our crazy stuff that we're going to go into? I got some cool stuff that we're about to do, so hang on. Miss Nicole, say hi to everybody out there, please.
All right, we have Joanna, Gail Williams, Danny Boy, Jeannie Not of This World, Jeremy and Callan, Christina, scrolling, Grace, Hannah, Ron, new name, The Judge, Yahuwah's Bat, Rafayah, Susan.
Rafayah and his wife, I would imagine.
I assume they're together.
Can we get a name on this so I don't have to call her Miss Wife? And for those who've never, sat around and chatted with us on this stuff, guys, when I say something, now, Miss Nicole, before I even begin this, Miss Nicole has been the wife for like 26, 27 years. And a lot of times I'll go, hey, let's talk to the wife. People will look over me, they're like, oh, that's the most disrespectful thing you've ever said. Or they're like, I can't believe you called her the wife. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? A wife is part of the Proverbs 31 women group, right? There is no better honor in the chain of custody of the kingdom group of people than that bonded flesh, husband and wife. So being a husband, that is a great thing. You are a hubby. Now, being the wife, that is a badge of honor. And I always say this out of a badge of honor on this. If I don't know your names, I'm super, super sorry. But it is a badge of honor in my eyes to be a wife, part of a system, part of Yah's beautiful system. All right, Mr. Cole.
All right, we have Susan Sanchez, new name. Welcome to you.
Hi, Susan Sanchez.
Yahuwah 777.
Hi.
Josh Rhodes. Not Joshua, sorry, that's our dog.
Could be Joshua. I think Josh Rhodes is Joshua.
It could be.
Aren't all Joshuas?
I think so.
Maybe, but they don't like being called that.
Yes.
What's up, Josh?
I'm sorry, Josh. Let's see. Sue Smith, still scrolling. Sister Barb's here.
And her clan. What's up, Sister Barb and clan?
It's Caleb and Amanda.
Amanda, I got it.
I told you it started with an A, but I couldn't remember.
Amanda. Good to meet you, Miss Amanda.
All right, and I think that's everybody. If I missed anybody, I am very, very sorry.
Okay, well, guys, I got some exciting stuff real quick for you. Now, let us take a look in this. we're going to teach you guys. Actually, we're not teach you guys anything. We're going to read over how the world says you can achieve salvation. And I have the top 15 religions of the world, and I thought it would be very interesting to go through these. And so I did a little bit of research, and I thought, why not? Why not? Let's take a look. Before we go over the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of our Creator, I think we should go over the laws, statutes, and commandments of Satan. So here it is right here. Now, this is how to be saved. This is from evangelical Protestant Christianity. So if you are in the Christian religion, this is how you are saved. And I say in a nutshell because this is how it is essentially done. You're saved, the rescue from sin to eternal life in heaven through personal faith in Jesus Christ alone. Grace, not works. Okay? Now, guys, I want you guys, all of us around this table, we're going to go over these first, and then we're going to box them, and we're going to go over this. So there's the very first thing, is we have faith through Jesus Christ alone. Number 2, all we have to do is ask Jesus into our heart, repent, and accept him as Lord Savior. And Lord right there means Baal because it's not uppercase. So, okay, but that's the Christian religion. So 1, believe Jesus is God's Son who died for your sins and rose again. But of course, you have the Trinity in there, so it's a little strange. Number 2, repent, turn from sin. That sounds like a good one, right? 3, accept Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior. 4, confess faith publicly. Confess faith publicly. Number 5, be baptized. 6, read, study the Bible daily. 7, pray regularly. 8, live a changed life. Rely on God's grace alone. No self-effort saves. Persevere in faith until death. What do you got?
You post that anywhere because Caleb and Amanda say it's blurry on their side.
It's blurry.
So it might just be their internet, but.
Yeah, I think it is. We'll post these. I'll post them. I don't have a spot to actually be able to post these like right now, guys. Hopefully it's not blurry for everybody. Hopefully you guys can see it. If not, it'll be the stream. Maybe it'll clear up here in a second. All right, guys, here we are. Believing in Jesus as God's Son who died for our sins. Is this correct? Is this how the way to salvation? Yes or no? 1.
Yeah, we're supposed to put our faith in Yahushua, but not Jesus.
Okay, but is that all there is, right?
No.
According to the Christian religion, right?
No.
Okay. It says faith alone. Can we do this by faith alone?
No.
What are scriptures based on that tell us this is not correct way of salvation?
Well, we have James. He says, we'll show our faith by our works.
Yep. So that is the Christian religion, everybody. So in this right here, it's a bust, right? The whole thing is a complete bust. So if we want to be a Christian, that's how the Christians will run their salvation. Now, let's take a look at Catholicism. All right. In a nutshell, what the Catholics believe is union with Elohim, and they call him God, which, to the Catholics, it's probably the G word. So it's grace via faith, and it's also faith in Messiah, along with sacraments and moral living. Okay, so this is the 10 different ways that you have to be saved according to the Roman Catholic religion. Faith in Messiah, baptism removes your original sin, confession, penance, Eucharist, and I can't remember what that is. That's some Catholic thing, but it's again not in scriptures. Confirmation, anointing of the sick, holy orders and matrimony, good works and charity, follow the church teachings, die in a state of grace. Okay, that's how to be saved according to the Catholics. Does any of this hold any weight at all, gentlemen?
I'd say that's all unbiblical.
It is unbiblical, right? Die in a state of grace. I don't.
How does that even happen?
I don't know. Follow church teachings. Again, these are the doctrines of the devil, right? We don't have a church teaching, right? We wouldn't go outside of the scriptures to achieve salvation. It makes no sense at all. Continuing on, let's look at the orthodoxy, right? In a nutshell, salvation is union with Elohim. This is the 10 points on how to become saved according to this religion. Belief in the Trinity in Christ. Okay, I didn't know that. And that's the number one thing right there. Belief in the Trinity. So these are the break-offs of like the Catholics. Okay, so you have to believe in the Trinity or you're going to hell. Baptism or chrismation. I don't know what that is. But I think that's more like they throw water on you. Eucharist, again, that's part.
They do it with the babies, I think.
Eucharist is basic communion.
Basic communion. Okay, thank you. I know we've looked this up at one point. Confession, prayer, fasting, good works, study scriptures, participate in liturgy. I'm not sure exactly what that means either, because I'm not from the church, and pursue holiness. Okay, so belief in the Trinity. Do we have anywhere in scriptures, anywhere for the number one belief as far as the Eastern Orthodoxy that says we need to believe in a Trinity? What Trinity?
No, there's nothing about Trinity.
There's no Trinity in scriptures. It doesn't have it, any of this stuff. Also, we don't know. Tell me about baptism. What do we know in scriptures? Do we have to be baptized for salvation?
No.
When do we hear about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being baptized? Anyone remember this?
The only person we have was John the Baptist.
John the Baptist, right? John the Immerser, right? He was baptizing, and Messiah says, right? We need to shake off the old clothes. Okay, so now we have three different religions. What you got here?
Liturgy
what is that?
Basically partaking in their religious ceremonies.
Doing what?
Participating in their public worship and religious ceremonies.
Okay, yeah. So you got to all hang out as a group of cultists, right? You got to do Satan's work together as a team. Okay, so we have three different religions right here. Not a single one of them go along with scriptures whatsoever. All right, let's look at Islam. In a nutshell, we're paradised by Allah's mercy after submission. So this is how we do this, according to Islam. I don't know what this is. Shahada?
It's a basic declaration of faith in Islam.
Okay. And we don't have that in scriptures, right? We don't have this at all. Number 2 is pray 5 times daily. Do we have that anywhere in scriptures?
It's not a command.
It's not a command. It is good.
It's good.
It would probably be a good thing. Charity, that's a good thing, but we don't know as, these are requirements for salvation. You got to fast during Ramadan, and I will tell you, they cheat during the fast, right? This is not a like we go 20 days without eating. We fast at night and then we eat the next night, right? And so whatever their fasting is like some strange stuff. The Hajj pilgrimage. I think that's where they dance around the giant satanic cube. Isn't that the giant satanic cube?
They're supposed to travel to Mecca and walk around the Kaaba 7 times.
Yeah, that's like a giant satanic Saturn cube, right? And so we don't have any of this in our scriptures. It doesn't exist. Do good deeds, repent, follow the Quran, and trust Allah's mercy. And one of the things I saw when I was researching this is you have to believe in our Creator and who's that? Muhammad. You have to believe in Muhammad's works. And so if not, you're not going to be saved according to this religion. Now, let's do some Hinduism, right? So first of all, you got to follow Dharma. Whoever Dharma is, I don't know. Probably a false god. Look for Dharma, Eli. You got to gain good karma. Good karma. All right. Well, we've heard of all these things, right? People use that word. You have to have devotions, knowledge, selfless actions, meditation, detach from desire, study text, rituals, live virtuously. All right. And so what is that?
Dharma is their duty, moral law, righteousness, and the right way to live.
Okay. So again, we have Hinduism, and it goes completely away from our scriptures, right? The Torah doesn't say anything about this. We don't know anything about dharma and good karma and bhakti, all these other things, right? This is foreign to us. This is why the religious system in of itself is foreign. Here we got Buddhism, right? You got nirvana, the end of suffering, right? Here it is, the key to enlightened paths, right? 4 noble truths, the right view, the right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration, insight, meditation. And I believe in Buddhism, there is reincarnation, which if you don't get these 10 things that are not in scriptures anywhere right, you can do it again when you die. It's a over and over thing till it's done. That's the same thing with Buddhism. This is interesting. Sikhism, right? I don't know what Sikhism is or what it is, but it's like one of the top religious systems. One God. That's interesting. At least they figured this out, right? That there's one Elohim. Meditate on his name. That sounds like a good thing, right? But it's interesting, right? Meditate on name, right? Are you just saying you're meditating on Mr.? That's like getting Mr. Bob, and you're like, I'm going to sit here and think about Mr. I'm like meditating on the name. Share with others, reject rituals, follow scriptures, virtues, avoid vices, service. As we look through all of these religions, let's get into the last one that I want to talk about right here, which is Judaism. Okay, salvation equals a righteous life. You have to do this. One Elohim. You got to do the mitzvahs, the commands. 3 is justice, repentance, prayer study, Sabbath, kindness, dietary laws, community, live righteously. Now, one thing that they don't put in here is their mitzvahs are a whole bunch of other laws, statutes, and commandments that are not found in scriptures. So simply by joining forces with this religious system or any one of these religious systems that we've talked about, you are breaking the laws of our Creator because we are breaking through this. I don't even know what these are or these, other than they ended up in being in the top 15 religions. Now, one thing that I want to bring in a final thing, is there a religion that follows only the Torah and the four Gospels? And when I say follow only the Torah and the four Gospels, I'm not saying that we get rid of the rest of the Scriptures. I'm saying that for a rule set of rules that all the rest of the Scriptures fall under, I believe it's the first 5 books of Scriptures and the first 4 books of the Besorah. So the answer to this, of all the religions listed, is there any that accepts only the first 5 books, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, and only the 4 Gospels as the commands of Messiah? The answer from the research is no. There is no major or well-established religion that uses exactly this combination as its sole doctrine. Why does no match exist? Well, the Christianity, they accept the New Testament, not just the Gospels, as well as most or some of the Old Testament, but far beyond the Torah alone, right? So if you are jumping into the religious system of Christianity by default, the definition of this religion is you don't follow the Torah. So when our scriptures say that you need to keep the Torah for all generations, all peoples, all times, everything, all of a sudden we've just ixnayed this religious system as being a satanic religious system. Judaism accepts the full Tanakh, the Torah, prophets, and writings, but it doesn't accept the Gospels, right? In fact, their satanic writings have our Messiah burning in feces. That is what the extracurricular books of Judaism are. So if we have our Messiah who came and done it and did it and is our Messiah, and these guys do not accept him, then all of a sudden Judaism's out, right? We can't hang with any of these other things. Other religious systems, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, use entirely different sacred texts, such as the Quran, the Vedas, Tripakata, Guru, Granth, Sahib, I don't even know what these things are, and do not treat the Torah and Gospels as their sole authority. The conclusion of all of this, my friends, no widely recognized religion or denomination limits itself strictly to the Torah plus the 4 Gospels. And so the closest approximations that we have would probably be us who are sitting around this little group. Some individuals, small groups, especially within Hebrew roots, Torah observant or sacred name movements come closest to this idea. But they usually will pick up a lot more things as far as that goes. Now, what we are going to look into is we are going to look over what is actually in scriptures. Why do all of these religious systems that we just went over, all of them, 15 of the top of the religious systems, how is it possible that not a single one of the top religious systems of the world, or any religious system of the world, how is it we've strayed so far away from what the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of our Creator have to say? Anyone? Well, how is it? How is this possible? We have all these religious systems, and we have nothing that actually is legitimate when it comes to how do we get saved? What is salvation? How do we do it? How did this happen, gents?
Satan.
Satan? Yeah, absolutely.
They're tricked. They become lazy and don't look for themselves.
Yeah, and it's not just our generation. It's the generations before this. It's all of the people, the Protestants that came over there. Everybody's ripping things out of the scriptures. And at some point, we've just decided. So, guys, we are in a minority. If you guys are the Torah keepers, remember the words of 2nd Ezra, right? Those who are saved are a drop of water compared to a wave. That makes a lot of sense when you look at the religious systems of this world and you look at those who are active in keeping Torah. So let us go over the legitimate commands that you can receive salvation for keeping. And again, people will fight tooth and nail. They're like, well, you don't have Messiah. Well, we have a Messiah, but Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov did not have Messiah. So their only way to salvation was by their works. And so they set up the the way forward, right? This is how we do it. We are faithful to our Creator. We awaited our Messiah. We listen to the words of our Messiah and apply them to the full Torah so that we have the entire book. So with that, guys, these commands, these rulings are beautiful. They're just staggering when you look at them and you understand the love and the creativity and the way that our Creator wants us to work, to live, to operate, to treat our family, to treat our neighbors, everything. It's all defined right here. Instead of this lawless rogue, once saved, always saved, nails have been nailed to the cross, this is the truth. Let's get into this. Commandment number 1 is to be fruitful. And that is, that if we had the very first commandment that we ever had, it's basically don't be lazy, right? Make the most of your time as we are marauding through this world that we are in. Commandment number 2.
Multiply. Another part in being fruitful. We are supposed to sprout throughout the earth. We're not supposed to just sit around. We are supposed to increase our numbers.
Replenish the earth. We're supposed to get back to the earth, not just take it and replenish it.
Subdue it. Have dominion over the fish, fowl, and every living creature. We should be the ones in charge of the animals, and the animals shouldn't have control over us. They are bearing, and every tree is for food. We have been given certain foods to eat. We have been given food by our Creator, and He gave us the herb and every tree that bore fruit.
Man and woman should build their own families. Man and woman are supposed to build families and multiply and be fruitful.
Master sin. We should have control over sin. We should not let sin overtake us, and we do that by keeping the Torah.
Every clean moving thing that lives shall be food for you. We also have the clean animals to eat, the animals that are clean for meat, so that we can continue on living, that we have our protein. Do not eat the blood. The blood is sacred. There is life in the blood. Yahuwah says not to eat it.
Walk before Him and be perfect. Everything we do, whenever we're before Yahuwah, we should strive to be perfect.
Guard Yahuwah's covenant, laws, statutes, and commandments. We are to follow His commandments. We are supposed to follow the things He has told us, the things He commanded to us. We are supposed to follow with all our hearts. Every male child is circumcised at 8 days old. It is a command between Yahuwah and the male children, and we are supposed to keep the covenant that He has established with us.
Teach your children the commands and guard the way of Yahuwah. Is that the right one?
Yeah.
Okay. We should keep our future generations should always know the Torah. We shouldn't keep it on one sole generation. Everyone should know the Torah.
Remember Yahuwah's name for all generations. A name that is sacred, the Creator. We are not supposed to forget this name. It has been forgotten over the years, and people replace His name with other deities, with other names, but His name is Yahuwah. Keep the Passover, Pesach. We're supposed to keep the Passover, the first feast of the year.
Keep the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Festival of Matzah. It is a 7-day celebration where we take all leaven out of our house and we eat no leaven for 7 days.
There is one Torah for the stranger and the Hebrew. It does not matter if you were born into the people of Israel or if you were someone that just joined down the road. You all have the same rules and rule sets to follow. Sanctify all firstborn to Yahuwah. The firstborn are sanctified to Yahuwah. That is what He chose the firstborn to be His.
There are no mighty ones before Yahuwah. The only one we should worship is Yahuwah and no one else.
You shall not make graven images. We're not supposed to make any idols. We're supposed to stay away from all the graven images, all the idols, and all the adultery that comes with that. Do not bring Yahuwah's name to naught. We are supposed to keep Yahuwah's name sacred, and we are not supposed to bring His name to naught.
Keep the Shabbat, the Sabbath. It is a day of rest where you don't cook, you don't clean, you don't work. You rest, and you worship Yahuwah.
Honor your parents. These are the people that brought you into this world. These are the people that raised you up. These are the people that are watching over you and guiding you. You're supposed to show them honor. Do not kill. Life is sacred. We are not supposed to take lives. We are not supposed to be the judges. We are supposed to keep people alive and not kill them.
Do not break wedlock. It is a covenant that you should have for the future, and you should not destroy that.
Do not steal. You are not supposed to take what is not yours. You are supposed to stay honest, and you are supposed to stay pure within your handlings of things. Do not make false accusation against your neighbor. Your neighbor is your brother, so to love our neighbor as ourselves, and if we are making false accusations, that is not love.
Do not covet anything of your neighbors. If you covet something, you will eventually want to commit more sins.
Do not make an altar from a rock that a tool has touched. You are not supposed to make an altar with any sort of material. It is supposed to be a natural altar. Do not go up the altar by the steps. The steps are not for you to go up. If there are steps to an altar, it is meant for the sacred people who has chosen.
If a man steals cattle, you shall restore it 5 times. If you stole someone's animal, you must repay him with 5 times what you stole.
Yahuwah has laws for criminals. Yahuwah has his own set apart laws for different types of crimes, for all the criminals and what to deal with it and how to execute judgment. Do not lie with beasts. That is very wicked. That is sin. Yahuwah says, stay away from those kind of things that they do in the pagan nations. no sacrifice to other Elohim. We don't do sacrifices anymore, but when we did do them, do not do them to anyone else besides Yahuwah.
Do not oppress the stranger, fatherless, and a widow. This is a command that should not even have to be made, because it should be an obvious thing to take care of the broken, to take care of the hurt, to take care of those without fathers. But here we are. We are here with a commandment that is told that we need to bring these people up, we need to help these people, we need to take care of these people and show them love.
Do not charge your brother interest. Your brother is your brother, and we're not supposed to charge people of land interest. If you borrow your trainer, return to him before sunset. If you borrow something from your neighbor, if you borrow a trainer, return it to him before the day is over. Back in the day, they only had likely one pair of clothes, so if you borrowed it, you should return it to him.
Do not curse the ruler of your people. In the days of the Holy Land, in the days when Yahuwah was guiding the people, the ruler was supposed to be a holy person that would walk with the people, that would guide the people according to the Torah, not any rulers of today.
Do not eat what is torn of any beast. If an wild animal kills another animal, we're not supposed to eat it. It is unclean. It is not good for us to eat. No false report. Do not lie. Do not lie about people and lie about certain things.
Do not follow a multitude of evil. You are to be holy. You are to be set apart. Following the multitude of evil is going to corrupt you. It is going to make you evil.
Do not judge righteously against the poor. When you have someone that is rich and someone that is poor, do not favor one for a hope of money or trying to get bribes. You want to favor them equally and righteously, and you want to do it according to Yahuwah's law. So put away their financial status and judge them according to the Torah. Bring back the enemy's cattle if you find it going astray. If you see your enemy's cattle, you see it is running away, bring it back to him. The animal is not your enemy.
Help the animals of your enemy. It does not matter the situation. You're supposed to help the animals. The animals are kind creatures. They are not your enemy. They are not there to hurt you.
Stay away from rumors and gossipers. We're not supposed to hang out with these people that rumor and gossip. We know who they are. We're supposed to stay far away from them. Take no bribes. We should have correct weights and measures in everything that we do, and bribes tip those scales.
Do not oppress the stranger. Love the stranger. A person is from outside and does not know the Torah. You're supposed to bring them in. You're supposed to show them love. You're supposed to show them what the Torah really means, what it means to help a stranger, what it means to be kind and loving through the Torah.
Give your land rest in the 7th year. Every 7 years, which is to get our land rest so that it can regrow and get back its nutrients. And Yahuwah said He provided enough in the 6th year so that we wouldn't have to grow anything in the 7th year.
Do not mention any pagan names. Don't mention any names of demons, false mighty ones, nothing like that. You could very well be inviting them in.
Keep the feast of Yahuwah. Now Yahuwah has 6 different feasts throughout the year that we are supposed to keep. They're important. He wants to keep these. These are His holidays, not the holidays of the world. These are the things that are set apart that make Him happy that we keep.
Do not cook your goat in his mother's milk. We are supposed to keep that far away. That Yahuwah does not like that, and it seems like a very evil thing to do.
Obey the messenger Yahuwah sends before you. If there is a messenger from Yahuwah, it's proven that he's a messenger from Yahuwah, listen to him. Do not run away.
Do not bow down to other Elohim, to other gods. No graven images, no evil. We're supposed to have one Elohim, and that is Yahuwah Himself.
We're supposed to serve Yahuwah in everything that we do. Our lives, we're supposed to dedicate our lives and serve Yahuwah in everything that we do.
Make no covenant with other Elohim or outsiders of the land. We see what happened when Yehoshua did this with Joshua. When he did this, he invited the enemies into his land, and then he was not able to get rid of them because he made a covenant with them.
Do not make or use anointing oil on a normal person. Do not make or use perfume on a normal person. In the days of the Levites, there was a special perfume and a special oil that the Levites would anoint themselves with, and they were only for Levites. If you were to make the concoction, you were going to be cut off from the people.
Do what you say you are.
Do not eat the fat.
Yeah, do not eat the fat. The fat is a savory smell to Yahuwah. We're not supposed to eat it as it does contain toxins, and we don't want to ingest that.
Do what you say you are going to do. If you make an oath, if you say something, do it. Do not be false about it.
Return what is your neighbor's. If you find something of your neighbor's that is along the way, that is is theirs, you're supposed to return it to them. You're supposed to keep honest people. You need to be trustworthy inside the people of Yahuwah, and that is something Yahuwah is trying to build up within His people.
Obey Yahuwah's dietary laws. Yahuwah says what we can and cannot eat, what is clean and unclean, and this trips a lot of people up, and this causes a lot of contention in the world. But Yahuwah has a set animals that we should eat and set things that we can, and if He says not to eat it, we should keep far away from it.
When it's time of separation, during their time, they're supposed to have 7 days away where they can rest.
Obey Yahuwah's hygiene laws. Yahuwah has set apart hygiene laws, different things to clean yourselves, to help yourself get clean after being unclean, how to deal with sicknesses, how to deal with disease, how to deal with fleshly ailments. There is a set apart hygiene laws for all this.
Keep the Day of Atonement, 𝐤𝐄𝐄𝐅, because the Day of Atonement is a day of
repentance. It is a day that the Levites must go in and atone for all the sins of Israel, and we're supposed to afflict our beings.
Do not uncover the nakedness of your family. That is a terrible abomination, and anyone who did it would have been stoned.
Do not take your woman's sister for a wife. If you were to have multiple wives back in the day, you were supposed to marry outside of the current family you have, because there would be contention, there would be issues inside the family.
Do not lie with the woman for uncleanness. We are supposed to stay away from that so that we do not become unclean. We're supposed to give the woman rest.
You shall not sacrifice your children to Moloch. You shouldn't sacrifice your children to anyone, but especially don't do it to Moloch.
Do not be a sodomite. It is an unholy abomination. Yahuwah says, do not do this. He says, stay away from this act.
Be Kodesh. We're supposed to be holy. We're supposed to do everything that we do, and then we can be Kodesh and holy by doing what Yahuwah tells us to do.
Do not reap the corn of your field, or you shall not glean your vineyard. You're supposed to leave the corn. You're supposed to leave stuff for the poor, the fatherless, the widow, those who need food, those who are hungry. You're supposed to leave it for them so they can get some food too.
Do not deal falsely or defraud your neighbor. Another command in dealing honestly, not lying, not being a liar. You are supposed to work honestly with him. If you defraud your neighbor, you are harming him. You are harming your own soul.
Do not lie or be a liar. Yahuwah wants honesty, and He does not want us to lie. He wants us to keep the truth. And if we are lying, then we are sinning against Him and ourselves.
Pay your workers the day's wage they are due. If you have someone working for you, you promise them a wage, pay them. Do not have unfair weights and balances.
Do not harm the disabled. And again, another thing like the fatherless and widow, but this is even more important. This is someone that can't fend for themselves, can't fight for themselves. You're supposed to take care of them. You're not supposed to put them into any danger or any harm.
Do not endanger your neighbor. We keep our neighbor safe. We love our neighbor as ourselves. If we put our neighbor in danger, then we are not loving our neighbor as ourselves.
Do not hate your brother. He is your brother. He is your family. Do not hate him.
Rebuke your neighbor for his sin. If you find your friend, your neighbor, your brother in sin, you're supposed to rebuke him. You're supposed to let him know that he is living in sin. If he doesn't listen to you, you bring another witness. And if the witness doesn't listen to you, you bring him before the people. You bring him before the judges, because he will not change his ways from his sin.
Do not diverse your cattle. We are supposed to keep the cattle separated. We are not supposed to intermingle with them.
You skipped one. Love your neighbor as yourself. He is your neighbor. You're supposed to help him. You're supposed to love him as much as you love yourself.
Do not mingle your seed. When you go out and you plant a field, when you plant something, you're supposed to have one seed per field. You're not supposed to mix the seed. You don't want hybrid things growing. It makes sick crops.
Do not mingle it in wool. We're not supposed to mingle it or wear it because it can cause us issues. It is an unhealthy vibration. They have frequencies, and it will hurt us.
Do not lie with a taken woman. Back in the day, this was a very bad abomination, and both would be stoned.
Do not eat the fruit of the trees for 3 years. When you plant trees and the trees start producing fruit, you're supposed to leave it for 3 years so they can gather their nutrients, so that they can become healthy trees and produce far longer than they would if you take the fruit right away.
Do not practice sorcery. We're supposed to stay away from sorcery. We're not supposed to practice it. We are supposed to stay away from all magic and evil and all the people that practice the magic.
Do not round your beard at the corners of your head. The pagans, they would style their beard somehow. They would shave it off just slightly. If you're going to cut it all off, or don't cut it at all.
Do not cut yourself for the dead. You are supposed to keep yourself as a pure body. You're not supposed to etch marks into your skin. For this is a pagan tradition to cut yourself for the dead. You can mourn the dead, but you're not supposed to harm yourself for the dead.
Do not get tattoos. Our bodies are not canvases. We're not supposed to mark our bodies. Yahuwah wants us to stay holy, and putting permanent marks on our body is not doing that.
Do not prostitute your daughter. Another abomination that shouldn't even need a command, but here we are.
Do not defile your temple. Your temple is a holy thing. It is a representation of Yahuwah. You're supposed to keep it holy. You're supposed to keep it Kodesh.
Do not consult a medium. Stay away from those who are doing evil, magic, witchcraft, any kind of spells or potions. We'll stay very far away from them, and we're supposed to kick them out of the land.
Respect your elders. They've been around longer than you. They are wiser than you. If they have something for you, listen to them.
Have correct weights and measures. You are not supposed to rip off your your neighbor. You're supposed to keep honesty. You're supposed to keep it as a pure and clean thing on your soul. You're not supposed to be ripping people off.
Do not walk in the manners of the nations. We are supposed to walk according to Yahuwah and what He says for us to do, and not what the other nations and their pagan ways do.
Keep a feast of first fruits, Shavuot, Omer Count, and Pentecost. It is a high Shabbat where you're supposed to give part of your first fruits to Yahuwah.
Keep the Feast of Trumpets, 𝐤𝐄𝐅𝐿. This is one of the feasts in the fall end of the year when you are to blow the shofar. You're supposed to blow the trumpets.
Keep the feast of Sukkot, Shemini Atzeret. It is a feast time. It is a time where we stay in tents and do a practice and also remembrance for when the children of Israel left Egypt.
If you blaspheme Yahuwah, you shall be put to death. If you are using his name wrongly, if you are calling him something else, something like that, you will be put to death.
If you kill your neighbor's animal, you must give him another. If you were to take the life of an animal, you were supposed to repay it. No matter the situation, you were supposed to get rid of that sin. You were supposed to get rid of that debt that you owe to your neighbor. Repay injury for injury, eye for eye, and tooth for tooth. And if someone injures you or you injure someone, it was supposed to be repaid equally.
On the Yovel, the Jubilee year. At the end of 50 years, there would be debts that would be erased, slaves would be released, things like that at the end of every 50 years.
Confess your sins and repay who you have trespassed against. You were supposed to make things right. If you did something wrong, you were supposed to confess these sins and you were supposed to make the wrong right. The law of Ben Azir. There was laws of Ben Azir. You are not supposed to eat any grapes or touch any dead. You are supposed to be holy before Yahuwah and grow out your hair.
Whereas these on the four corners of your garments. They are blue tassels that we are supposed to wear so we remember that we are always keeping Yahuwah's commandments.
The Torah of whoever touches a corpse. There was a certain way to deal with if you were touching a dead body, how to clean yourself and how to get rid of the uncleanness on you. Whereas these on the four corners of your garments, we are supposed to wear the zizis and do what?
I already did that one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, it's a good command regardless, so I mean it's worth reiterating.
Well, Yahuwah's law of inheritance. Yahuwah has a special set apart law of inheritance, how to handle it, how to find the nearest relative, how to delegate who gets what when the person dies. Law of keeping oath to Yahuwah. We're supposed to, if we say we're going to do something and when it's swear to Yahuwah, we are supposed to do it and obey what we say we're going to do and not be people of our words.
Do not add or take away from the word. That is what the Christians do. That is what all the other religions do. They add or they take away. They don't want to follow some things, or they add certain rules that they only want to keep.
That is the one thing every religious system breaks Deuteronomy 4:2. You can't do what we do in this religious system when it's doing this. What do you got, Mystical?
Raphael says I got fired yesterday due to my tassels.
You know, I saw, I don't know if the video came out, but I saw that. What's up with that, bro? That's an honor. That is an absolute honor. What a stand, or what a moral stand of legendary go. I mean, there's no better way to be fired than that. So let's keep Raphael, let's keep Caleb and Amanda in our prayers, guys, so that he's able to find something that Yah has him directed to, and that it pleases Yah, right? Like this is the world, right? This is what the world does. The world hates the commandments of our Creator, right? When you know, even the Judaism, right? They don't wear blue tzitzits. They wear other stuff. So it's blue and white and everything else. So what a badge of honor, bro. I'm sorry to hear that. We will definitely be praying for you.
He said they made me voluntarily terminate myself, though they hired me with them on. They said I'm quitting.
Huh. Well, that's interesting. So, welcome to America. You know, that doesn't surprise me really. With the way the world is going right now, I would imagine this is going to be the first of the kind of things that we see. I mean, at some level, I mean that's a terrorist ideology, right? Taking away a person's ability to wear. I mean, it's crazy. Right? Can you imagine that if they did that to the Judaism guys, right? The APAC or whatever it is, they would go crazy. Like, oh, you're to make us take these Jewish tassels off. So it's tough, guys. It's really, really tough. All right, let's roll on.
Guard your soul. It's the most important thing you have. It's the thing that is going to get you through into the next life. You need to guard the soul. You need to protect it with everything you have. Learn to fear Yahuwah. Because to fear Yahuwah, we're supposed to obey Him and have respect for Yahuwah.
You shall love Yahuwah with all your heart. Everything we do, we should always be thinking about Yahuwah, and He should always be on our mind.
Bind the Torah on your hands and the frontlets between your eyes. You are supposed to remember the Torah no matter where you go. You're supposed to look through the Torah with your eyes. Whatever you do, your vision is supposed to be on the Torah. Write the laws on your doorposts. We're supposed to have the laws on our doorposts, so we're supposed to be surrounded by the laws. Everywhere we go, we're supposed to see the laws and have the laws surrounding us.
Do not tempt Yahuwah. We shouldn't try and make Him do things that He would not do.
Like putting yourself as a picture of Messiah Yahushua, and I would say that's probably tempting Yahuwah. I would say having a picture of our Messiah holding you when you're like the world's greatest demon. I would say that's probably tempting Yahuwah. There's all these little things that are happening right now, and we live in a world of tempting Yahuwah, right? Simply turning on a helly weird TV show is tempting Yahuwah, right? It's just these are the things that we do not want to do. We don't want to get on the wrong side of the Creator of the universe, which is why Torah is a very, very important thing.
Do what is right and good in the sight of Yahuwah. Whatever you do, you're supposed to do what Yahuwah has commanded. You're supposed to do what He said, what would make Him happy, not what would be right in our own eyes.
Do not be afraid of your enemies when we come up against our enemies. Why should we be afraid of them? Because Yahuwah is with us and He fights for us.
Remember Yahuwah. We should always remember Him. We should keep Him throughout all generations. We should never forget His name.
Circumcise your heart. You're supposed to humble yourself. You're supposed to enter the covenant with Yahuwah. You're supposed to be a changed person when you go into the covenant with Yahuwah.
Cleave to Yahuwah. We are supposed to cleave to Yahuwah. Everything we do, we're supposed to attach our lives to His ways and what He wants for us.
Swear by His name. If you have an oath, if you're going to swear, do it in His name only, and do not break that oath.
Destroy graven images. You are supposed to get rid of the graven images in the land. And He hates idols. He hates all their deities. He is a jealous El, and He wants to get rid of these.
Do not make an idol of Yahuwah, as the pagans do to their Elohim. Yahuwah does not want us to make Him a physical form. He does not want some physical object to be worshipped. He wants us to have faith, and He does not want us to build something out of stone, because then people start going astray with idols.
Rejoice in all Yahuwah has blessed you with. Everything that we do, every drink of water, every breath we take, everything is a blessing from Yahuwah.
Do not do what is right in your own eyes. Another thing of do what is right in the sight of Yahuwah. You do not do what is right in your own eyes, because you will make the mistake. Humans err. There is error in the human thought process, and if you do what is right in your own eyes, you will sin against Yahuwah.
Do not hearken to the words of false prophets. If there is a false prophet and he's proven to be a false prophet, do not hearken to his words. We are supposed to stay away from him, and he is supposed to be cast out.
Do not make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. Something that pagans did, most likely shaving their eyebrows.
You shall not eat any abominable thing. Yahuwah calls a few things abominations, but He says, stay away from those. If it's abominable Yahuwah, it abhors Him, it upsets Him. Those are things He hates.
You shall give to a stranger a clean food that dies of itself, but you shall not eat of it. If you have an animal that is clean and it dies of itself, you shouldn't eat it, but you can give it to the stranger so they have food to eat.
Give tithe your increase of seed year by year. Back in the day, you would give 10% of your seed to the priest. But now we can't really tithe like that, so if you want to do something, help out a homeless people.
Buy them some socks and rice. That's an incredible tithe, guys. Incredible. Next.
The Torah, the end of the 7-year release. There is a way of the Torah, the Jubilee. There's a way that there's the release of the people, the properties, the slavery. There's a way that everyone gets reset back to zero during the Jubilee year.
Do not borrow from the nations. We're not supposed to borrow from the nations. We become enslaved to them. They become the power over us. We're supposed to borrow from our brethren and not the nations, because the nations do not follow the same rules we follow, and you'll end up in a lot of trouble.
Do not harden your heart nor show your hand from the poor. A poor person, if they need help, if they need something from you, do not harden your heart. Help them out as much as you can.
Guard month 1 of Yahuwah's calendar. This month has 3 of the important feasts that Yahuwah has. This is an important start of the year to Yahuwah, and He wants us to keep this. He wants us to remember these months. 3 times a year, all males shall appear before Yahuwah. During the feasts, there are 3 specific feasts we're supposed to appear before Yahuwah and present ourselves to Him.
You shall make judges and officers in all your gates. Inside of our gates, we should have judges and officers, people that would have a little authority, and they would be able to judge between different matters.
Do not plant Asherah poles near the altar. Shouldn't be planting Asherah poles at all, but especially don't put them near the altar.
There must be 2 or 3 witnesses. There was a matter or something, there needed to be 2 or 3 people. There needed to be 2 or 3 honest witnesses to establish a matter, to get things going.
Hearken unto the prophet Yahuwah has chosen. If Yahuwah has chosen a prophet and is proven to be Yahuwah's prophet, then we need to follow him and do what he tells us to do.
Prophet test of Deuteronomy. If a prophet says something and it comes true, then he is real and you should listen to him.
Do not remove your neighbor's property line. Commands in honesty, commands in coveting what your neighbor has. You are supposed to be content with what you have. If you go to move your neighbor's property line, you are sinning against yourself, you are sinning against Yahuwah, you are sinning against your neighbor, and you should stay away from that.
How to deal with a false witness among Torah keepers. Someone who witnesses falsely, there's laws for that. Someone lies, or they're not being honest about something, and they have punishments set out for them.
The first child is yet double portion. The first child, when the parents are gone, he is supposed to take care of the family. He is supposed to help them. He is supposed, if they need something, he is there to help them.
If your brother's cow or clothes are lost and you find them, you must return them. More things returning of your neighbor or your brother's things. If you know who it is, you know where it belongs to, bring it back to them. That is theirs.
A woman should not wear what pertains to a man, nor a man wear what pertains to a woman. It is wickedness, it is perverseness. Men should be men and women should be women, and we should not be trying to be something that we're not.
If you find a bird's nest, the mother and the babies or eggs, take the babies, but not the mother. You take the babies or eggs so that the mother can leave and go produce more, so you don't end up making the thing go extinct.
If you build a new house with a flat roof that is already lived on, you must put a railing around it. Back in the day, houses didn't used to be pointed roofs. It used to be a flat roof on top. It used to be something that could be lived on, a second floor. And Yahuwah loved it so much, he said, put a railing around it, put a fence around it, so that people do not fall off if they go to live up there.
Do not be a prostitute. Don't be a prostitute. I mean, that's just what that is wickedness. That's evil, and that's not something we're supposed to do. That's very, very unholy.
Do not use dirty money. If somehow you got dirty money, do not use it. Get rid of it. Burn it.
The law of divorce. Yahuwah did not want his people to divorce, but their hardest hearts, he created a law in a specific way to handle divorce.
Do not take a person's millstone for a pledge. When a person had a millstone, that's more like all they had. They make their food, sometimes even their work. So if you took that millstone away from them, they would have nothing. So don't offer that in a pledge. Don't take that if someone pledges it.
If you lend your brother, do not enter his house to get your payment. He must bring it to you. Return his clothing before sunset if that was his pledge. If you lend something to someone, do not barge into his house today. Don't break into his house. Just wait for him to bring it back to you.
Do not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy. More commands on taking care of people, on taking care of those who are broken, those who need help. And Yahuwah says you need to take care of these people. If you have someone that is poor and needy that became your servant, you are supposed to take care of them with love and compassion.
Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. If you are not put to death for someone else's sin, someone's not put to death for your sin. Whatever you do, you are judged for it, and you will be punished for what you did, and not someone else.
Do not go back from the God chief in the field for a stranger, fatherless, and widow. If you leave something in the field, don't go back and grab it. Somebody else needs it more than you do.
Do not muzzle your ox when he treads out grain. If you have an animal that is treading out grain, do not cut off his food way that he needs power too.
If your brother dies and has a child, you shall take his wife and the firstborn after your brother. Raise up your brother's name the child so that your brother continues on, so his lineage isn't forgotten.
At the end of 7 years, you are to read the Torah, the Feast of Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles.
So, there we go. And Miss Nicole has a couple questions, but before that, we went over all of these religious systems right before this, right? Now, what it feels like to me is it feels like you could join a Christian religion, but you would have no structure. You would have no structure as it relates to the actual scriptures. Having no laws makes no sense at all. Saying our Messiah came and died so we can live however we want as we await this magical bus rapture, that doesn't make a lot of sense, right? We have to look at things that make sense because we know that our Creator truly does make sense. And so if we want to be a part of this kingdom, this world that we have, these are our 157 commands. And inside of them, there are more commands, like the hygiene rules have a whole bunch of commands. But the basis of it is there's 157 easy commands that we can keep today. And it makes all the difference in the world whether or not we're willing to be obedient or not. Now, Miss Nicole, what you got for
All
us?
right. Cindy, she says, oh, now I got to go find it. Sorry. I was
King
ready.
GGG?
Yes, I was ready and then I just lost it. Are we supposed to fast during Yom Kippur? Some say afflicting the soul doesn't mean fasting.
It's one of these things it's one of these interpretation things because we are given no way we're not it doesn't say to fast, right? It does say to afflict the soul. And a lot of people have taken that to a day of fasting, right? At the same time though, it's a day of alignment, right? It is a day that we are trying to realign and recalibrate ourselves and make sure that we are truly on this kingdom path, making sure that we're not straying, make sure that we haven't strayed, all of these kind of things. Is it good to fast? Yes. Fasting is very, 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 very good for the human body. It is very, very good for the human mind. It is very good for everything, right? Fasting clears up all sorts of stuff. It clears up diabetes. It clears up all of these cancer. You can absolutely kill cancer by long-term fasting. Sugars is part of the whole cancer thing. And, when people start fasting, it is good. So is fasting on the Day of Atonement a good idea? Probably. It definitely, we're afflicting our souls, but at the same time, it's not simply just about fasting. It's about the realignment with life and making sure that it's not a realignment with life, it's a realignment with the Torah and making sure that our lives are aligned strictly with Torah. Next question.
Next question is from Trevor Ming. He
What's up,
says,
Trevor?
what are your thoughts concerning gardens with different vegetables in regards to mixing seeds?
So the mixing of the seeds, it goes something like this, right? Over in Japan, they will take a handful of like 50 different kinds of seeds, right? And then they will just blow this out in the field. And you will end up with a tremendous amount of things. Now, we know and I know from farming is how, plants work a system, right? Corn, for example, moves in and around in and of itself. There's all these different like bees and animals that are moving. They're changing. They're doing the process of what Yah wants us to do. Now, there's in little gardens. I don't know so much as it's going to be a huge issue. What you're talking about, you're not talking about like a row of corn, a row of tomatoes, a row of something. You're talking about taking all these things and then throwing them out in there and kind of seeing what flows together, right? And that's what these Japanese gardens of whatever it is, where they will mix all of these kind of things. And what you end up with is down here, especially down here in Panama, we grew corn for years. And when you get corn and you just want to plant corn, number one, corn doesn't grow down here like it does in the States. The kind of corn that you do that works up in the States does not work down here. So, but the problem is it's all inbred corn. So you get some of this local corn and you will plant it, and what comes up is it looks like a dude with his teeth all knocked out, right? It's jacked up looking corn. Like it doesn't grow properly. It's inbred. It doesn't have the strength. It doesn't have the power. And it's because of all these mixing and all this mix and match of all of this stuff that nothing's normal anymore. And that goes for a lot of the fruit, a lot of the stuff that we eat. A lot of the fruits that we eat today were never ever as sugary as they are right now, and it's been years and years and years, decades of growing these and putting them together. So I don't think that having a garden where you are separating lines of food and various things is what we are talking about. It's more that if you are going to be a farmer and you're going to be planting this stuff, don't just wing this stuff out there, right? Have proper places for it. And, as the wind blows and as the bees pollinate and various things, they will mix and match this stuff themselves. And what we learned from the corn is you get genetic mutant looking food. It does grow corn, but it doesn't grow like the big, beautiful, tasty stuff in the U.S. and various things that grow in a different kind of soil. So that's probably about the best I have as far as this goes. Anything else, Mr. Gold?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, so here we are, everybody. Let us get into our reading of Devarim, Deuteronomy chapter 30. We're getting towards the end of it, another month, and we will be done with this incredible book. And Jade, give me a breakdown of where we're at right here. Give me give me a breakdown of where we're at with our homeboy Moshe.
Moshe is very advanced in years. He is nearing 120 years, the lifespan who has given his people. And he freed the people out of Egypt. He heard them complain, cry. He's had a very long 4 years with these people. A lot of them
4 years?
40.
40. Yes. I thought you said 40.
40. They have angered him. He has cried for repentance for them. They've fought people. They've conquered some lands, and they have a whole generation has died off at this point. And Yahuwah's ready to let the next generation in. And Moshe is giving them basically a recap of the commands and saying you need to obey Yahuwah, don't forget him, or he will punish you, and he'll basically have people come and slave you like the Egyptians did. And so he's sitting here on the outside, which he cannot enter in because he did not listen to Yahuwah fully, and he struck a rock instead of talking to it. So Moshe can only look into the land and guide the people in there, and
his time is coming to an end.
And you know, one thing that I'd like to note is that as we get older, we kind of get a little crankier, I think. I think that's how it is. You know, you get the grouchy old man, get off my yard, boy. Moshe didn't, at least from the scriptures that we have, you can't tell this guy's becoming a grouchy old timer, right? Even to the last of his breath alive, this guy was probably the most patient person anywhere. That, you know, Moshe is going to be an incredible, maybe Moshe and Avram are like two guys that would be just an incredible to sit down and, you know, get the qualities of these guys, right? When Avram is described as a friend of Elohim, you're like, wow, what do we do to become a friend of our creator, or the designer? You know, how impressive is it to do this? And so this is a great book, great readings here. Devarim, Moshe, and the tribes of Yisrael, all 12 that are still roaming about at this time in scriptures. Chapter 30. And it shall be, when all these words come upon you. Okay, what words, gentlemen?
The Torah.
The Torah, that's
all
right.
I have written so far.
That's it. That's the only word that we know of, right? The Torah. That is when the words come up on them. The berakah, right? The blessings and the curse which I have put before you, and you shall bring them back to your heart among all the Gentiles where Yahuwah your Elohim drives you, and shall turn back to Yahuwah your Elohim and obey his voice, according to all that I command you today, with your heart and with all your being, and you and your children. Guys, before we go into what you get out of this, this is the exact same message that all of us have today. My brothers, my sisters, my friends, my family, those of us who are out there, if those of us who are stuck in this satanic religious system will turn back to Yahuwah our Elohim today to obey his voice, according to all that he commanded us through his beautiful words by Moshe, with all of our heart and with all our being, you, us, and our children, then Yahuwah, your Elohim, shall turn back your captivity and shall have compassion on you, and he shall turn back and gather you from all the peoples where your Elohim has scattered you. And before you guys speak up and say you're not in captivity, just because we're not in chains doesn't mean we're not in captivity. My point is this. The United States has a motto of the land of the free and the home of the brave. Now, you can say that and you can raise your little flags, but you can also go to work, and if you don't pay your taxes, they're going to arrest you. If you do certain things, they're going to arrest you, right? There's all these hundreds of thousands and thousands of rules. In fact, most Americans, without even knowing it, have 3 felonies a day that they accidentally do. And these 3 felonies a day won't affect anybody unless, of course, you are under a government investigation, at which point these simple so-called U.S. felonies could simply land you in prison because you are under an investigation, right? So all of us, we're not exactly free, right? Say for instance, you die and you leave your kids a house and they don't pay the taxes. Do they get the house, or does the IRS and the state and everybody else come and get your house and they sell it off and they take it, right? And so as far as being captive, none of us have a jubilee, right? We don't live in a land of jubilees. We don't have a 7 and a 50. We don't get, at the end of 7 years, all of our stuff returned. 50 years, we don't get to move back into our house, any of this kind of stuff. It doesn't exist. So as far as the scriptures and the interpretation of the scriptures, where we have the northern tribes of Yisrael, the 10 tribes of Yisrael that went into captivity, we're still here. We are still here, right? Look around us, right? The people in this captivity worship the wrong Elohim, right? They keep all these pagan holidays. They do all these pagan things. They're out there declaring war on everybody. We are simply observers in captivity, right? And this captivity at some point is going to end. And as we get closer to Rumpstein doing what Rumpstein is doing, that's great news for all of us. We may have to deal with some tragedies. We may have to deal with some inconveniences. We may have to take the hand of the messenger that Yahuwah brings before us to get to the second Exodus. It could be very, very sketchy. But as far as understanding the timeline of where we're at, it's getting to be very clear of where we are at. So we're all in captivity. 4, if any of you are driven out to the farthest parts under the Shamayim, From there, Yahuwah, your Elohim, gathers you, and from there he takes you. And Yahuwah, your Elohim, shall bring you to the land which your fathers possessed, and you shall possess it, and he shall do good to you and increase you more than your fathers. Now, guys, this land that we're looking for, this future that we're looking for, this Exodus that we're looking for, is not the modern land of Israel, that is over there right now. There's a reason that there is a new Jerusalem, right? Because the modern day Jerusalem and Israel, more than likely, is going to get completely starched. It's going to get scorched. It's going to be a complete scorched earth by the time this is done. That is what Bible prophecy very clearly says. These people, the poachers of this land, are going to get smited. How this happens? Well, you're watching it right now. You're watching it, this Israel first thing where all these people, I mean, they just bombed Lebanon. You know, what do they got? 500 people killed in this so-called ceasefire, where you have Netanyahu, the second of the greatest demons next to Chumpstein. They're killing off people, right? All they do is take it over, and they're like, yeah, we want to increase the land of Israel by destroying and bombing and leveling and killing and torturing and terrorizing people that are established this land, people, right? The land of Israel today is not for the people who have claim to it. These people are poachers. They're frauds. They have taken over. They've lied to everybody. And I'm not saying this in a way that I'm hating the sons of Shem. One single command alone: murder. You shall not murder. And I'm not talking about their wars. I'm not talking about their genocides. I'm not talking about any of this. I'm talking about their abortion clinics over there, right? Where you can go into the land of Israel and get an abortion up to 11 p.m. at night. That's on their official maps, on the official place, if you want to get an abortion in Israel. So you can't lie to me and tell me you are the chosen people of our Creator, when all of Scriptures very clearly says that if you offer your child to Molech, you're dead. We drag you outside the city gates and we kill you. We kill the witches. We kill the warlocks. We kill all these people, the evil people of this world. That's not who we are. We are not okay with this. And so we don't take our star and hang it to the wagon of Israel. We take the star and hang it to the Torah, to Yahuwah's kingdom. This is our kingdom. This is our government. All these other governments are complete frauds. Continuing on. And again, where Elohim is bringing us into the land. What land? Well, we're all captivity. We're all in captives. It's coming. It is coming. Again, it may not be in my generation. It is looking closer to my generation, though. So keep your eyes peeled to the prize, my friends. 6. And Yahuwah, your Elohim, shall circumcise your heart and the heart of your seed, to love Yahuwah, your Elohim, with all your heart, with all your being, so that you might live. And Yahuwah, your Elohim, shall put all these curses on your enemies and on those who hate you, who persecuted you. And you have this group of poachers over there in the Middle East right now, and they will very clearly say that we are the people, right? We're this group of people. We're all of our enemies around us are going to be cursed. The number one thing is you would have to be true Torah keeping only, not breaking it with Deuteronomy 4:2, not adding the Talmud, Kabbalah, all the satanic stuff, not adding any of it to it, to be considered this. But you know what? We have religious systems, and we have these brain-dead Christians. They're like, well, we got to bless Israel. If we bless Israel, we'll be blessed. So you have these satanic preachers that are out there, the greaseballs, that are out there. They're like, well, we got to condone this genocide. Oh, don't worry about what's happening in Palestine. Don't worry about what's happening in Gaza. Don't worry about what's happening all over the West Bank. Don't worry about what happened in Lebanon. It's all cool. We just have to say, God bless Israel, right? And we're going to be blessed. That is literally what these people think. That is literally how they operate, and that is why they allow this genocidal, maniacal, traitorous, fraudulent people to be doing what they are doing. And again, I'm not hating the sons of Shem. I love Shem. Shem's a cool dude. He's a legend. Continuing on. 8. And you shall turn back and obey the voice of Yahuwah and do what? All his commands, which I command you today. Well, we don't have the commands, teacher. The laws are on the cross. Well, that's not true, right? That's what man tells us is they are on the cross. And if you want to be foolish and go, okay, they're on the cross, yuck, 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 it makes no sense, right? Do you want to beat up disabled people? Do you want to be a filthy Gentile? Is that what you want to be, right? We are called to come out of our Gentile ways. We are called not to be Gentiles. This isn't us, right? These are filthy people. The filthy people do not keep the commands of our Creator. That makes you a filthy person. 9. And Yahuwah, your Elohim, shall make you have excess in all the work of your hand, in the fruit of your body, in the fruit of your livestock, in the fruit of your ground for good. For Yahuwah turns back to rejoice over you for good as he rejoiced over your fathers. If, right? How do we get this? How do we get the excess of our hands? How do we get the fruit of a body? How do we get the fruit of our livestock? How do we get the fruit of our ground? Well, if we obey the voice of Yahuwah our Elohim. What else? To guard his commands and his laws, which are written in this book of the Torah. If you turn back to Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart and with all your being. Okay, guys, this is the recipe for salvation. This is the recipe for how do we make it to the kingdom to come. Are we these people? Do we see value in the Torah, or do we see nuisance? Do we see freedom, or do we see bondage? Do we see curses, or do we see the true blessings, the baraka that they are? We have to make this. And guys, it's not just for these people back in the day. We've gone over this before. This is for all generations, for the people that are here back then and the people in the future, us. It was written to both groups of people. 11. For this command which I'm commanding you today is not too hard for you, nor is it far off. Okay? What happens if you ask the Christians about keeping the commands? What's the first thing they say? Kate, what's the first thing Christians say?
We don't need to do that. It's on the cross.
What else do they say? Eli, were you sleeping?
No.
Bondage?
Is bondage. Thank you. That was the word I'm looking for. Right? What the Christians say is anti-Torah. Right? Right here, out of the words of Moshe, which are out of the words of our Creator, it says, for this command, which is to observe the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, is not hard, nor is it far off, right? This isn't the ball and chain, right? We've been lied to. Who's lying to us, right? The hand of Satan, right? He takes all these people that are making fortunes off people in this religious system. They're taking their 10% and they're lying to them. They're making their wages on lies. 12. It is not in the Shamayim to say, who shall ascend into the Shamayim for us and bring it to us and cause us to hear it so that we do it. Nor is it beyond the sea to say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it to us and cause us to hear it so that we do it. For the word is very near to us all. It's near to us, right? It's on a shelf. You get a digital version of it. You can download Yah Scriptures. You can download any Bible. You can download anything that you want to download. And all of the same Torah commands are virtually the same, right? You do have some lying scribes that do pen in some stuff. But when it comes down to basics and the Torah commands, they're all the same. So, don't say this is too hard for you or you can't figure it out, because in the words of Moshe, it's very near to us. The word. And guys, notice the verse 14, it's a capital W, right? The word. What word? The Torah, right? It's easy to do. Put it in our hearts, minds, and souls, and we do it. 15. I love this verse. See, I have put before you today Kai and good, life and good, and death and evil. In that I am commanding you today to love Yahuwah your Elohim, to walk in his ways, and to guard his commands, and his laws, and his right rulings. And you shall live and increase, and Yahuwah your Elohim shall barak you in the land which you go to possess. You will be blessed. Now, I want to again go over this. Our Creator, by the hand of Moshe, has said this. Today, and this is the same thing that all of us, you, me, all of us out there, fam, we have before us today life and good, or we have death and evil. Okay? How do we get life and good? Well, he says it in 16, right? That we obey Yahuwah our Elohim, that we love him, we walk in his ways, we guard his commands, his laws, his right rulings, and that we live and increase. And this is what our Creator has said, and He has given us His promise, right? We're not falling on idle words. We're not falling on things that don't come true. I will tell you without a shadow of a doubt, being out here in this woolly, wild jungle, there is everything that can crawl out of the bushes and come kill us, right? It doesn't matter what variety of snake. Something can come out of the bushes and kill us. We're always very, very concerned about snakes, where we crawl, what we do, how we do it, and the things that we always look for. And it's not just the snakes, right? There's caterpillars with little furry things that look like a caterpillar, and they have spikes on them. They once you touch them, it puts you into almost a seizure, right? Miss Nicole still has scars all over her arm. We had Caden, he got smoked by a caterpillar down here. So you can't just see a caterpillar crawl on you and flag it away, because it could be the caterpillar of death. And literally, people will die from these things. And so we are looking at the promises of our Creator. It doesn't mean that nothing goes wrong for us, but I will tell you that more has gone right for us, and we have seen the supernatural ability of our Creator to protect us and to guide us and to make sure that we don't die, that He had a hand in allowing us to do the work, which has been Yah Scriptures. And so I'm not saying this as somebody who hasn't seen the results of what our Creator can do. I have seen it especially over the last decade, time and time again, we have gotten into issues, problems, fighting the wrong people, duking it out with something here or there, somebody coming at us, enemies coming at us. And to this point, even the greatest of all the enemies that have been able to take people for decades, our Creator has stopped them. He's thwarted them. How He does it, I don't know. They just disappear. Things happen. We had a guy that we were protecting, this kid that got molested. He got molested by all of these Christians down here for years and years and years, and we duked it out with one of these guys. And this guy sued us for $100,000 for what was it? Defamation of character. Because I went on YouTube and I said, this guy's a demon. They and all their Christian group and everybody passed this little child around, and they were all demons. So they went and sued me for $100,000. Well, it went for a little bit, and we didn't know what to do. We're like, well, it ain't like North America. Well, you can still get sued, but down here it's a little bit different. So this guy disappeared for a little bit, right? And we never stopped, right? We were still fighting for this kid. We were still trying to get this kid out of jail. They had sent him to jail. They falsely accused him. And he came back after us again, right? So all of a sudden, he out of nowhere, months later, he comes back again, $100,000 coming hot and heavy. And all of a sudden, he's walking down the road, and he has a heart attack. He face plants on the ground, and he dead. This dude is dead. And we're just like, we're shocked. We're like looking at this. We're like, wow, that's a harsh sentence, right? That is a harsh sentence. We didn't kill this guy. However, right before he's ready to again smite us and our family over great evil, he just dies. What do you say about this, right? But this is just one example. We've had fires that rage across our land that stop at certain points. We've had animals and things there's so many different miracles that we are living proof that the Creator of the universe absolutely does miracles all around us. So, it's not just, we're not just reading this. I have examples of this in our lives where we can't explain things. They just happen. And once you have had enough of those, that things just kind of happen and you're not really in the same control you think you are, then we're just like, oh, okay, Yah just did this, or Yah just did that, or we made this mistake. And we will very clearly make mistakes, and before the day is done, everything we thought in one direction went the other way. It's just like the rug under our feet, and we're like, wow, I guess Yah didn't want this to happen. And that's just how we work, is that, okay, well, and it's amazing that our Creator does this, because I will tell you, I would be long gone if our Creator had not done this with the kind of action this family's always into. Continuing on. But if your heart turns away and you do not obey, and shall be drawn away, and shall bow down to other mighty ones and serve them, I have declared to you today that you shall certainly perish. You shall not prolong your days in the land which you are passing over, the Yarden, the river, to enter and possess. I have called the Shamayim, the heaven, and the earth as witness today against you. Okay, there's two different witnesses, right? In the scriptures, we're always dealing with witnesses, right? At the behest of multiple witnesses is a matter established. So today, our Creator has said, look, I want you to keep my laws, statutes, and commandments. If you do, I'm going to bless you. I'm going to keep you. I'm going to do supernatural things that make you sit on YouTube telling everybody that supernatural things happen to you. or we're going to have horrible things happen, and our witnesses are literally heaven and earth, right? And when you see and you read creation and you read the Apocrypha and the various different books, it's very clear that like the sun is male, the moon's female. Did I get that right or wrong? Yeah, I think it's right. But there's like male and female to all of this stuff, right? And so we literally have witnesses of a creation of our Creator that literally, if we fail this, it's not anyone other than the creations of our Creator that have done this. So he's called Shamayim in the earth as witnesses today against us. I have put before you Kai and death, the baraka and the curse, the blessings and the curses. Therefore, you shall choose life, Kai, so that you live, both you and your seed, to love Yahuwah your Elohim, to obey his voice, and to cling to him, for he is your Kai. He's your life, right? This is it, right? If you guys don't have the feeling that Yahuwah runs your life, we must realign this, because this is what we need. We need the director, creator, engineer, designer of the universe, the one that created every freckle, every hair, everything that we have. We need him to cling to us, right? We want him to be a part of this. We want to be a part of this kingdom run, right? If not, the people you'll hang out with are the Rumpsteins, right? If we don't choose Yahuwah, by default, we get the Rumpsteins. We get these deplorable, filthy, nasty, disgusting people that are so on Satanists. I don't want to hang out with these people. I don't want to be in this filth. It's just a terrible thing. Therefore, we must choose Kai so that we live, both you and your seed, to love your Yahuwah, your Elohim, to obey his voice, to cling to him, for he is your Kai, and the length of your days, to dwell in the land which Yahuwah swore to your fathers, Avram, to Yitzchak, and to Yaakov, to give them. All right, guys, beautiful book. Beautiful, beautiful chapter. Just incredible reading. Jade, will you please take us into Yaakov, James chapter 3.
Yeah, we are with the disciple of Joshua, one of his direct disciples, and he tells us that we should be doing works. We should be obeying the law, and by our works we can show our faith. And he tells us to take care of one another and to believe in Elohim. He tells us, basically, he gives us a pretty good breakdown of how our lives should be.
Yeah. Okay, this is an incredible book, incredible chapter. Lots of stuff to glean from this, guys. Lots of stuff we can help our Ruach get stronger in the kingdom road. Yaakov, James, chapter 3. Not many of you should become teachers, my brothers, knowing that we shall receive greater judgment. Okay, those are hard words. Boys, explain them to me.
So, those who teach, they receive a greater punishment. If you teach wrongly or you lead people astray, then you are judged more than a regular person would be judged if it doesn't teach.
Yeah. Guys like Paul Washer, right? Paul Washer, we grew up with Paul Washer. And Paul Washer, for a Christian, is a good Christian. He's like right at the edge of where he could be an incredible Torah keeper, but yet he keeps pushing this Christian narrative. Now, for all these big preachers that have spent their entire lives telling people that salvation comes from Jesus Christ alone and nothing else, and these people go to their deathbeds, and they're like, well, Paul Washer told me this. He's a preacher. Isn't he your preacher? And Messiah's going to say, my friend, I didn't know you. You don't know me. You have to depart from me. And so when a teacher is a teacher, and it's a heavy responsibility, right? It is one of these things I do oftentimes worry about, and there are certain things I definitely won't touch because I do not believe that I am qualified to bring things out in various forms. It's one of these things that, as far as the Torah goes, that's pretty black and white, right? When you read the scriptures, it becomes very clear that is what the doctrine is. And so when we do something other than that, it's outside of it. And just like when Messiah Yahushua said that every life that we affect, like a pebble in a lake, a perfectly clear lake, you throw a pebble in there, right? What do you get? You get ripples. Ripples fly out. And it's Messiah Yahushua in the book of the Nazarene, the book of Khalidi, that says every one of those ripples that we touch in either a negative or a positive way, we will be accountable for. A lot of the generational curses, right? A lot of these things that we have out there teaching our kids wrong. Our kids grow up and do crazy things. Everything that we have done, whether it be good or bad, will come back to us on the day of judgment. 2, for we all stumble in much. If anyone does not stumble in word, he is a perfect man, also able to bridle the entire body. You know, we don't know. I would hard to, you know, other than Moshe, probably Abram, I would say I haven't read about too many people that don't stumble in words, right? We all do it, right? Every single one of us. It is very, very, very clear that, you know, we can do unrepairable damage with a simple sentence, right? We can crush the heart, mind, and soul of our loved ones. We can hurt people in a way simply, 5 words, 5 letters, a couple of them. I mean, if somebody says, I hate you, right? And they mean it. Can you imagine what that does when kids say that to their parents and various things like that, right? Our words are essentially a reflection of our heart. It's something that all of us here in this house, we're a bunch of dudes. We grew up in Babylon, and we're a bunch of jokesters, right? We tell a lot of jokes. And so not every joke is becoming of people who are representatives of the kingdom to come. And so we're always trying to remind everybody here that we did come out of Babylon, but it is our job to get rid of that Babylon in us, right? Get rid of these jokes. Get rid of this. And, you know, it's one of these things that, you know, I remind my boys often is, and myself, if what I am saying am I going to be saying this when our Messiah is standing in front of us? Are you going to be saying this joke? Are you going to be making fun of somebody? What are you going to be doing? And the answer, if we're honest, is we're not going to be doing it, right? We're going to be on our very best behavior because we're going to know that in the room with our Messiah in there, he's probably going to probably cane us when we're evil, right? He's probably not going to cane us, but I mean, at the same time, you're not going to be the same people that we are when we don't do it. But we have to understand that every word and every deed, whether it be good or bad, is recorded on the tablets of the greatest DVR system that has ever been recorded, right? It's all coming back to us, and it's going to make Judgment Day probably a little bit tough for all of us. 3, look, we put bits in the mouths of horses for them to obey us, and we turn their body. Look at the ships too. Although they are big and they are driven by strong winds, they are turned by very small rudder, wherever the pilot intends. And that's very big, right? You have giant horses, right? I don't know how much a horse weighs. What is it, 1,500 pounds, maybe 2,000 pounds?
Probably.
I'd say probably 1,500, 2,000 would be my guess, Eli. Do my fact checker over there. You have a little tiny piece of metal, and it goes in their mouth, right? And it can be comfortable. And a lot of people, the good horsemen, don't actually need to use it because they're one with their horses and figured it out. But for the most of us that have to bridle a horse, that is how we get them to move in and around. The same goes for a ship, right? You have huge ships, and the entire way to steer them is a itty-bitty tiny thing. Eli?
About 1,200 pounds.
1,200 pounds of a horse. All right, so smaller than I thought. Okay, 5. So too the tongue is a little member, yet boasts greatly. See how a little fire kindles a great forest. Guys, and I don't hate throwing Rumpstein into the fire, but you look at the tongue on this demon, right? Look at this guy and the evil that he says, right? Just like yesterday or the day before, he's like, Iran, we won the war. In 1 hour, he said 7 lies that were completely opposite of what this guy says, and then he tells everyone, Middle East is going great. Middle East is going good. The poor American people, if you just watch mainstream news, you have no idea what to think. But America's on fire at the moment. And, you know, who runs his trap more than Rumpstein? 6. And the tongue is a fire, the world of unrighteousness. Like a forest among our members, the tongue is placed, the one defiling the entire body and lighting on fire the course of generations, rolling from the beginning and in the end is lit on fire itself. It sounds like a death sentence, right? This sounds like something that we're able to light the forest fire of the world on fire, and at the end of the day, we're going to be accountable for our tongue. We're going to be accountable for the words that we say. We got to be careful. We have to understand. James is simply quoting Torah, right? This is it, right? Loving our neighbor, loving our Elohim Most High with our heart, mind, and soul. right? You can't love your neighbor as yourself and give him a tongue lashing, right? That's all part of Torah. The entire Torah is Torah. It's the rule book for our life. And so we have to be very, very careful. And again, this family, there is no saints in this family, right? There is no saints. If there's something that we all struggle with, it's probably that one little member that is causing a lot of strife between all of us. We all say things we regret around here, for sure. 7. For every kind of beast and bird, of reptile and creature of the sea is tamed and has been tamed by mankind. But no man is able to tame the tongue. It is unruly, evil, filled with deadly poison. That's so true, right? James has this down exactly what is right. The deadly poison is simply saying something that hurts somebody's feelings so much that it causes distress forever, right? There's so many things, especially in marriage throughout the years that I've learned with Nicole, things to say, things not to say, right? It's just one of these things, and you can really, really, really hurt yourself and hurt your marriage. You can hurt your family. That tongue is just such a beast. 9, with it, we baruch our Elohim and Father, and with it, we curse men who have been made in the likeness of Elohim. Out of the same mouth proceed baraka and cursing, blessings and cursing. This is what we do, my brothers. This should not be so. Does the fountain send forth the sweet and the bitter from the same opening? My brothers, is a fig tree able to bear olives or a grapevine figs? So neither is a fountain to make salt and sweet water. Who is wise and understanding among you? Let him show by his good behavior his works in meekness of wisdom. All right, so according to James, if we want to be wise and understanding or prove that we have wisdom and understanding, well, we have good behavior, right? We become a staple of the community. We become the people that everybody can count on, right? And we hold our tongue. We're slow to wrath, quick to patience, all these kind of things. 14. But if you have bitter jealousy and self-seeking in your hearts, do not boast against and lie against the truth. This is not the wisdom coming down from above, but it is earthly, unspiritual, demonic. Okay, what does he call demonic? Bitter jealousy, right? Self-seeking in our hearts, right? All these kind of things. You know, again, when you look at the Antichrist that we have before us, this is the dude, right? Every single thing in scriptures for good, this monster that is before our eyes has made evil, right? Everything. Like, this dude does not have a bit of righteousness in him at all. So continuing on, 15. This is not the wisdom coming down from above, but it is earthly, unspiritual, demonic. For where jealousy and self-seeking are, there is confusion in every foul deed. But the wisdom from above is first clean, then peaceable, gentle, ready to obey, filled with compassion and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. All right, friends. All right, family. That was a incredible reading. Two very, very great chapters out of this. I hope it's things that we can all take and use in our life, that we are, every Shabbat, we're hoping that we are better than we were the week before. Not better as in men's terms, but better as in walking the Torah. And that's the only thing that we have that we can use as a guidepost. I mean, we can't use the laws of men. They're not righteous. They're not just. They're not kodesh. They're evil. And so we have to align our lives to this Torah, and it's a great path. It is an incredible thing, and there's no better time right now with the world burning right in the middle of a little lull here, and it's a great time to seek Torah. It's a great time. There's peace in Torah, guys. There's freedom in Torah. Everything good in your life will come because you have started walking the narrow path. So my friends and family, I love you guys very, very much. I hope you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Shabbat. Jade, will you please bless our brothers and sisters?
Yahuwah block you and guard you. Yahuwah make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Yahuwah lift his face upon you and give you peace.
Okay. All right, everybody. So this is out of the book of Khalidi. We'll finish off with this, and we love y'all. Shalom, shalom.
truth grows quiet, not too loud. One standard, one rule. Torah makes us wise, not cruel. Search your heart before you speak. Yeah, who loves the humble meek? No more double living ways. We obey for all our days. They asked about stones and punishment, but Yahushua said, think different. Cut the root where evil grows. That's how you stop what trouble shows. One standard, one rule. Torah makes us wise, not cruel. Search your heart before you speak. Yeah, who loves the humble meek? No more double living ways. We obey for all our days. Oh, yeah. He said before you throw a stone, search your heart. Are you clean alone? If you blame, you better see your own heart needs purity. One standard, one rule. Torah makes us wise, not cruel. Search your heart before you speak. Yeah, who loves the humble meek? No more double living ways. We obey for all our days. Oh, he said some men have two rules, one for wives and one for fools. But Torah truth is fair and right, same rule shining in the light. One standard, one rule. Torah makes us wise, not cruel. Search your heart before you speak. Yahuwah loves a humble meek. No more double living ways. We obey for all our days. He said, stop blaming other doors. If you walk in sin you chose. So we obey, we stand upright with clean hearts in Yahuwah's side. One standard, one rule. Torah makes us wise, not cruel. Search your heart before you speak. Yahuwah loves the humble meek. No more double living ways. We obey for all our days. Hear the word, then do the word. Not just sound you've always heard. Life and fire, truth pursued. Yahuwah said, hear and do. Shema Yisrael, hear it clear. Love Yahuwah, hold him near. Heart, soul, strength, all alive. Torah etched into the mind. Hear the word, then do the word. Not just sound you've always heard. Life and fire, truth pursued. Yahuwah said, hear and do. Hearing only builds no ground. Storms will shake what's not found sound. Rockets Torah lived each day, not opinions tossed away. Hear the word, then do the word. Not just sound you've always heard. Life and fire, truth pursued. Yahuwah said, hear and do. Watchmen warn, blood required. If truth stay quiet, fear inspired. straight. Not delay, not hesitate. Hear his voice, then walk it through. That's what faithful children do. Hear the word, then do the word. Not just sound you've always heard. Life and fire, truth pursue. Yahuwah said, hear and do. Hear the word, then do the word. Not just sound you've always heard. Life and fire, truth pursue. Yahuwah said, hear and do. Look inside, don't pretend. Yeah, repairs what we amend. Two men went to pray that day. One was proud, one humble, great. The proud man praised his perfect life, but inside he held sharp strife. Pray like a mirror, not for fame. Yeah, cleanse hearts, always the same. The humble rises, the proud falls down. Torah true, earns his crown. The humble man stood far away. He said, yeah, help me obey. He knew his weakness, told the truth, and yeah, restored his inner roof. Pray like a mirror, not for fame. Yeah, cleanse hearts, always the same. The humble rises, the proud falls down. Torah truth, earns his crown. If you hide behind fake glass, you'll miss the lesson, it won't pass. A chariot must be checked for flaws, or it will crash without Yah's laws. If you hide behind fake glass, you'll miss the lesson, it won't pass. A chariot must be checked for flaws, or it will crash without Yah's rounds. If you hide behind fake glass, you'll miss the lesson, it won't pass. A chariot must be checked for flaws, or it will crash without Yah's laws. Pray like a mirror, not for fame. Yeah, cleanse hearts, always the same. The humble rises, the proud falls down. Torah truth, earns Yah's crown. So we pray with honest breath, not just words but life and death. Yeah, love's truth inside the soul. That's what makes a person whole. Pray like a mirror, not for fame. Yeah,
right, beautiful family. Big hugs to all of you. We love you guys, truly. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for making this an incredible Shabbat. Like always, we love you guys. May Yahuwah bless you and keep you. May his light forever shine on you. May the grace of the Torah fall into our future realm, and may we all be citizens of the kingdom to come with obedient, cheerful hearts to Yah's laws. And may we all see each other in the kingdom to come and high five and give big